This week is a bridge. On one side is the life you've been managing. On the other side is the life you're ready to own. Each day of this week takes you across that bridge, step by step. And on Sunday, the bridge itself resets under the shadow of the eclipse. You'll notice this week doesn't move in straight lines. It bends, it pauses, it shakes, it clears. Imagine walking with a flashlight through morning fog, the road under your feet full of bumps you didn't expect. That's how the week begins. By the time the eclipse arrives, the fog lifts just enough for you to see which road you truly want to walk. Let's start at the beginning. Monday, September 15th, opens with Venus slipping out of deep water into Leo. It feels like your heart has been tangled in knots, and now it wants a stage. You want to express yourself, to be seen, to show your feelings in ways you've been holding back. But this isn't just a performance. With the South Node, Ketu, nearby, it's not about applause, it's about honesty. If you've been chasing approval, you'll notice where it feels empty. If you've been hiding your real feelings, you'll sense a pull to be more real. At the same time, Mars has just stepped into Libra. That's like walking into a room where balance is the rule. You feel ready to take action, but the action has to consider others. You're not a lone fighter here. You're a partner, a negotiator, a player in a shared field. That can feel inspiring or frustrating, depending on how much you want control. On Tuesday and Wednesday, September 16 and 17, the spotlight shifts to your mind. The Sun and Mercury are traveling together in Virgo, staring across the sky at Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Think of headlights in fog, shining against a wall that keeps changing shape. One moment you see structure, the next moment you see mist. This is how decisions feel right now. You'll want facts, but the facts may blur. You'll want clarity, but delays or confusion can creep in. If you're working on projects, this is the moment where details matter, but patience matters more. If you're in conversations, you may find yourself repeating things or being misunderstood. Don't assume people hear you the way you mean. Don't assume you hear them clearly either. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. That's the rhythm here. Quick gut check. Is your mind buzzing? If yes, pick one microtask and finish it before you check messages. That small win can steady you through the fog. Thursday, September 18th, lands like a pressure point. The numbers line up as a rare 999 pattern. The date adds to 9. The month is 9. The year reduces to 9. 9 is endings, completion, letting go. This is the second 999 portal of 2025. The first one happened on 9 September, and the last one occurs on 27 September. After which we wait for 9 years for next 999 portal. It's the universe's way of saying something is ready to close. And this happens on the same day Venus brushes against Saturn's pressure. You may feel like your heart is under review. Relationships, money, self-worth, all of it asks for truth. Do you want to keep carrying what feels heavy? Or are you ready to put down the load and walk lighter? This is also the point where Mars in Libra begins to tug against Uranus and Pluto. That's the gas and the brake at once, while the GPS keeps rerouting. You may feel restless. You may feel like you need to act, but every move gets blocked or redirected. Small adjustments prevent big messes. If you feel like pushing hard, pause. If you feel like quitting, pause again. This isn't about stopping, it's about adjusting. By Friday, September 19th, the moon joins Venus and the South Node in Leo. Emotions meet the stage. This can feel dramatic, maybe even overwhelming. Some people around you may express big feelings, not all of them clear or balanced. If you notice drama, remember, it's a play, not the whole story. Keep one foot in your center. Ask yourself, am I reacting for the spotlight, or am I choosing what truly matters? Neptune shifts its place that day, and Jupiter shifts too. It's like the tides in the background changing direction. You may not see it instantly, but you'll feel it. Plans that seemed solid may feel flexible now. Dreams that seemed vague may start forming edges. Notice what whispers under the noise. That's often the real guidance. Saturday, September 20th, carries the heat of a buildup. Mars forms a tense angle with Saturn, while still catching pressure from Pluto and Uranus. That's the gas and brake again, only stronger. Think of driving uphill in traffic, where the red lights change too quickly. You need patience, but also courage to keep moving. This can feel frustrating if you want instant results. It can feel tiring if you're pushing too hard. The balance lies in steady effort without overdrive. On this day, the moon moves closer to a dark phase, the hours before the eclipse. That's when emotions turn inward. You may feel more tired, more sensitive, more reflective. Some people notice their dreams become stronger. Some notice old feelings resurface. Instead of resisting, give yourself permission to pause. Rest is not wasted time here. Rest is part of the bridge. And then Sunday, September 21st, the climax arrives. The solar eclipse. The Sun, Moon, and Mercury gather in Virgo, directly opposite Saturn and Neptune. Imagine a stage going dark. The lights cut for a moment, and when they return, the set has changed. That's an eclipse. Something pauses so that something else can shift. This isn't just about the sky. You feel it inside. The sun is your clarity, the moon is your emotions, Mercury is your mind. Together they face Saturn's demand for truth and Neptune's haze of illusion. It's the fog again, but this time the fog parts with a crack of lightning. What you thought was fixed may dissolve. What you thought was vague may suddenly harden into reality. You may feel pressure in work, in relationships, in health, in routines. You may feel like something has to give, and it will. Eclipses open and close doors. Sometimes the door slams shut, sometimes it swings wide open. You don't control the door itself, but you control how you walk through. Here's the mental health check-in. If this day feels heavy, break it into breaths. Literally, inhale, exhale, notice your feet on the ground. That's how you remember the bridge isn't collapsing. It's carrying you across. This week is a bridge. On one side is the life you've been managing. On the other side is the life you're ready to own. Each day has tested your patience, your honesty, your courage, your ability to rest. And now, the eclipse resets the map. Maybe you've been juggling too much at work, forcing yourself to answer emails at midnight. The eclipse says, set a line. Maybe you've been in a relationship where you keep guessing what the other person wants. The eclipse says, ask directly, or step back. Maybe you've been carrying old habits that feel like anchors. The eclipse says, cut the rope. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. This is the mantra of the week. It's the reminder that rushing doesn't get you across the bridge quicker. Attention does. Honesty does. Courage does. So here's the challenge for you, simple and clear. On the day of the eclipse, choose one habit, one belief, or one commitment you will protect no matter what. Write it down if you like. Whisper it if you prefer. But make it real. That one choice is the seed you plant as the lights go dark and return. Because this week is a bridge, and by the time you step onto the other side, the life you're ready to own is already waiting for you.